Oh, bag? Brian Austin Green? Brian Austin Green. Bag.
Hi everyone. This is about as crowded as I expected it would be for this one. Can you believe that this is the last panel of 90's Con? I know, it's such a bummer, but I mean, ending with a bang, for sure. You don't want to hear from me, so I'm gonna just go ahead and start announcing these folks. Would Jenny Garth please join us? And Shannon Doherty. And Doris Belling. And we have Jason Priestley. Brian Austin Green. And I am Deering. We got the seats in the back too, guys. No.
How is everyone?
This is a giant room. You've got the cameras going. I mean, that is a lot of fun. What does it mean to all of you to kind of see this outpouring of love?
It's not working.
Thank you.
It's just for love.
Can you hear us? Amazing. How amazing to see you all here. Thank you so much.
How about you, Brian? I know you were not at the one in March with this gathering.
No.
What does this mean to you?
Oh, this is amazing. The turnout is amazing. I was looking forward to stopping by the last one for the panel, but there were no direct flights. You know, they're hard to get to. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to meet everyone. This has been an amazing experience.
So I want to go into the Wayback Machine and hear about the first splurge after the show had launched. It was doing well. What was the gift you bought yourself? Oh, Ian is making a face, and he definitely has an answer.
Okay, so,
Oh, jeez. I'm terrified for this answer.
I drove out to California from Jersey in an Acura Integra, a four-door car, and my first splurge was when I drove through a car wash. This is year 2. Drove through a car wash, and the windshield broke off. The windshield broke off. It was crap, and they didn't want to fix it. I drove over to the Acura dealership, and I'm sitting there, and there's this Acura Legend spinning on a turntable.
The gold one.
Well, I'm all pissed off about my wiper blade, and I'm looking at this thing rotating in front of me. I just traded in the car. I was like, how much is that? Because I thought, that was my first splurge.
And then he drove it to set the next day, and he stood underneath it, and he rotated for all of
Look
us.
how good this is! Don't you want one?
He's a super strong guy. Super strong guy.
That was my first splurge.
How about you, Jenny?
Oh, splurge. Ooh. I remember I bought my dad a pickup truck. That was like very exciting.
What was his reaction?
I was pretty happy with that. I mean, I would be too.
How about you, Jason? Was there something you treated yourself to?
Mine's super boring. I bought a house in Los Angeles. Super pragmatic, very sensible. Family of realtors drilled into my head my whole life. Make some money, first thing you gotta do is buy a house. And that's what I did.
Super boring. Crazy.
Shannon, how about you?
Oh, I paid off some of my dad's hospital bills.
I want to hear what you splurged on. That's a beautiful thing.
That's a splurge. That was a splurge. When you can't afford, like we were eating rice and beans for the majority of my life. So when you can actually afford to start paying for something like that, so that your dad's not getting phone calls every single day. that's making him panic, that's a splurge.
Brian, was there a moment in the process of this, especially in the beginning, where you realized you made it? And I say that with air quotes that I can't use while I'm using two hands.
Yeah, so we did a college grad night at Disney. Yeah, and another bad creation was there, and not to date this or anything, but Wilson Phillips were really big at the time. Yeah, like yesterday. Everybody still listens to Wilson Phillips, right? It was a stage that we were on. It was called the Tomorrowland Terrace, and it started underground. It was like an elevator, so you could come up. And right before us, I think it was Wilson Phillips that went on to perform. And I remember hearing everybody screaming in the crowd, and I thought, oh, they must be doing another song. And our show had just started.
That was me screaming for you.
So Tori was up above in the crowd. I didn't know that, but you did a great
And
job.
I was there in that night.
So supportive.
That bra that got thrown in your face.
Right,
that was great.
totally. Right. Fit me perfect.
Literally.
Yeah.
It was. I remember the moment being at the mall and like going going down the escalator, and people were like, Donna, Donna. I'm like, that's funny. That's a character. I'm done.
Next.
Someone was saying a name, and
Give you these papers.
yeah, it's been a nice ride. I hope it's
I should point
Alicia, come on back here. Our SAG rep, everybody. Here she goes.
No, you're good.
Someone said a name that I seemed to respond to, but I didn't think they were talking about me. And it was, and I realized it was people who knew who I was. Sorry, you guys, it's a tough position to not be able to talk about.
I know that everyone supports you, and you all get it, but there's going to be a little bobbing and weaving happening in this bit. But it's going to be fun. It's fun so far. I'm digging it. Yeah. Speaking of malls, and I know, the pressure is real. Speaking of malls, I mean, back then, that was a whole thing, these mall appearances, because there wasn't social media, there wasn't the internet, and all of these ways that people had access to see you and scream for you. Gabrielle, what do you remember about some of those mall experiences?
I think every time it was a shock.
You, Jason, what was that mall experience like?
There was a moment, I think it was in the second, maybe the third season of the show. Jenny and I, curious to hear if you remember this, we went to Detroit. Yeah, Detroit Rock City in the house. So we went to Detroit to present a check from the Chrysler Motor Corporation to the United Way, I do believe. And oh my God, I can't believe you don't remember this. This was awesome. So
I'm so glad you're talking about it.
So we went there, and the presentation was taking place in Joe Louis Arena, and there were 18,000 screaming fans in this arena. And when the curtain opened, and Jenny and I walked out on the stage, the screams and the roar of the crowd was deafening. It was unbelievable, and the flash bulbs and all of it, and that was the first time that I sort of realized that our show was making a huge impact outside of what we actually understood.
She was there. So it definitely happened.
Can you confirm that Jenny was there?
It was Jenny
She
there?
was there.
Was I there?
You had hands.
Wait, so who was there? Okay. Jenny doesn't remember.
I have no recollection of what you're talking about. I would remember a giant check.
Yeah.
I remember it.
It wasn't to you though. That's much easier to remember.
Shannon, what were your thoughts the first time you saw a doll of you or a character you played?
That does not look like me. That was really the very first thought was that looks like every other. I can't even say B-A-R.
Wait, but it's the doll. You're talking about the doll. No, but she's talking about the doll. You're not
It's
talking
like
about
charades. One word, sound like, gonna act this out.
You're talking about the doll, not the movie.
Okay, thank you. Just checking. Ms. President, I have to check.
Not that.
So, yeah, it just didn't look like me.
That I've seen? Sorry, I just realized.
that you've seen.
I was just talking to you and I was like, oh, there's people here. I should probably use a microphone. They made everything. I saw your action figure. So that's what he sells it as because he's like, I can't believe I had a doll. So it's like, it was an action figure, but it doesn't move, like it's, you know, and it's wearing heels. I was like, that's not an action figure.
It's only missing a kung fu grip, bro. It's right there.
Okay, and joints.
No, it's missing a lot. The doll,
Yeah.
the doll.
The craziest one, I mean, we had all sorts of parts. I saw Walkmans, and I've seen, I remember Darren Martin, for anybody that knows him, 90210, who was supposed to be here, he's not. Darren, we miss you. Love you.
He's like
He showed me, he found some, it was like a Hot Wheels car that was supposed to be yours, but it wasn't the right car. Yeah. Oh yeah. You saw that too, right? And I'm sure somebody else saw that. So verify my story, please.
It was the
Because
wrong
I'm like
67
0 for 1
yellow
right
Mustang?
now. What?
It was the wrong 67 yellow Mustang?
It wasn't even a yellow Mustang.
It wasn't even a Mustang.
No, it was like
A red, like,
yeah.
Pontiac?
Yeah.
The what?
A red Pontiac?
Yeah, it was like a
Yeah,
red
red-
with
a
like
red
wood
Fiero.
paneling on the. It was very like Partridge Family-ish. That's Hot Wheels. So that was a pretty
What
strange.
about the sheets?
The what?
Like, you guys all, like, had sheets.
I still I have the sheets on my bed. They're like 2 thread count. They're super.
By the way, when he's talking about Jason, he has Jason's sheets. Not his,
that I thread here.
I've been to his house. It's definitely
With
Jason.
his action figures all over the room. And I have different like clothing to change.
As you should. I had a
Right,
question.
as you should. Yes.
What is the craziest thing you've been asked to sign? And I'm going to say body parts notwithstanding.
You know, people have come up to me and asked me to sign lots of different things, certainly with a few body parts. What has been interesting is to see, like, using my arm and turn it into a tattoo, which is, no,
I saw
no,
Jason
I own their
Christmas
soul.
tattoo
So
today.
we're good with that.
Just
I have
today?
a whole bunch of minions that have my name on their tattoo. Snap my hand and they quack like a duck wherever I am in the world.
Have any of you ever seen, or any of you have, like a collect them all, like the tattoo signatures of all of yours?
Anybody out there have that?
Somebody?
I've
Anybody out there?
seen
Hold on.
Are You Willing Faces,
No.
but not all of them. A different show that I was on afterwards. I've seen people with all of our faces. on their body. And what's really interesting is that, like, then they can make my mouth move and stuff. They can, like, yeah, they like roll their mouth.
Is it over their belly button? What's the
I'm like moving on your just like,
No,
It's
only
so
you
weird.
do that.
But I have seen some people with full of shows. Yeah.
It's wild.
Makes me uncomfortable.
Does it? It makes me a little uncomfortable too.
There's too many of us to promote some of these bodies.
There was another show that Jason was on. I was a big fan, and I had a poster.
Jason, did you know that?
No, I never told him that part.
Yeah,
Never.
this is new information.
I had that same poster.
Next to the sheets.
Somewhere in the wall, right?
So Jason, who
Your
was it?
2 thread count sheets.
We have a therapist
Yeah.
filming for Brian right now.
It's a big moment for me.
Actually, it wasn't a poster. It was like out of a D magazine.
It was like the centerfold.
I typed your beat, like I ripped it out and put it up, and then it was like, hey,
You
Dad.
carefully removed the staple so it wasn't. No.
You know, like tape on the back, like you fold it just so you can.
Jason, did you have any like celebrity people on your wall growing
You know
up?
what? I'm old enough, and there's not that many people in the room old enough to remember this. But in the 70s, when I grew up, every boy had a Farrah Fawcett poster. Yeah, you remember. That was a good one. That's the only one I had.
How about you, Shannon? Did you have any fandoms?
I want to hear. Ian, did you already answer this?
Not yet?
I Frankenstein. I had like a 9-foot Frankenstein in my room. I had like sitting box tops.
How did I know
Cereal.
that you were the person that answered this?
Weird.
And it was Frankenstein. That's
I did not know, but I just knew that Ian had something very weird in his
I had that, and there used to be these things called wacky packs. Like you buy like baseball cards and these stickers, and they would spoof all different kinds of. And on my door in my room, there'd be a million wacky packs. When you open the door, there's Frankenstein, and it glowed in the dark. I don't remember what the cereal was, but after collecting thousands of dollars of cereal boxes, I mailed away and I got Frankenstein.
It was
It
fantastic.
was it
I
lasted
hope it was
for
like
years.
blueberry or something.
How long did your sea monkeys stay alive?
I had sea monkeys. How do you know I had sea monkeys? It's so funny, sea monkeys.
Bugs hugs.
Fried shrimp. It's so funny.
Is the question, or they can stay in the 90s, please. And don't feel like you have to say you can bring them back just because I'm wearing this first one. Chokers.
Love chokers.
Wait, you know everything from the 90's is currently.
I know, it really is coming back. But some things should stay in the 90s.
David Silver wardrobe should stay in the 90s.
1000%.
What specifically from that character's wardrobe?
Everything.
They would pick the most ridiculous patterns and things and make pants out of them or shirts. I had pants that were lifesaver pants. And then I had the shirt, and you used to call it the
An awning.
An awning, right? It was striped. It was gorgeous.
Truth be told, we had a choice of what we want to wear. They would like create a palette, but we could say, I don't wear that.
Can we cut Ian Ziering's microphone, please?
So I don't feel bad. I used to walk around with my shirt buttoned to here. I freaking wore
Dude, you
my
had
belly
those
exposed.
little shorts.
I
with the
clearly
slits
did
up
not
the
have
side.
a mirror in my dressing room. Nobody was my friend. So
Oh,
I would
man.
have that shit because I couldn't fly.
Can I just say my favorite-
Kept wearing them.
My favorite merchandise ever, we had the trading cards, and and there was one of mine, we were shooting at the beach, and he was reaching down in the water, and he looked up and he was like, ooh, that's cold, and they took a picture. Greatest trading card ever, right?
I'm still pissed.
And
so pissed. I would still, like, the photographer, like, I'm gonna beat his ass. Who chose that to market? Clearly they didn't like me. They really liked me. So, let's go.
So if anybody
Back
has
up to the
that
dolls.
card here,
They never made a
please
Steve
bring
doll,
it
they
up
never
now.
Brian doll, they never Gabby doll. And nobody felt worse than our friends up here who had them. They were like, they couldn't believe it. You know, we kind of sucked up, some big deal, and Jay comes up. I walked in and said, see, they made a doll for you. I'm like, shut up, I know they didn't make us. Come on. It's interesting. Walk into the makeup trailer, and there's this 15-inch doll. This thing was
Wearing
blonde, curly hair, had earring, it had like leather pants on. And Jay says, look, Steve, it's you. And he pulls the pants down, and it had a package. Remember that? Like, oh my God. It's the gay Bob doll, I think. It's so goddamn funny. That was a great day. I lied.
In all fairness, it was only 4 inches, but it sounds good.
The doll? Wait a second. But the doll was only 15 inches. Don't get it.
You're welcome. I'm here
Don't
for
get yourself.
16.
15-inch doll.
This is what you get for inviting us to a panel.
It's the sad rules, we can't talk about this anymore.
Say it. Just say it. Let's move on.
What about the big floppy bucket hats with the giant flowers?
Oh, like the blossom
Staying back
hat.
in the 90s.
I saw someone today.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those. Yeah.
Well, I feel like you can't judge at 90's Con. People are at 90's Con are dressing 90's.
You are, you guys look amazing, by the way.
Yeah, you do.
Oh my God, you guys are amazing, and really, some of you are so creative. I want some of the stuff you guys have.
Tell me about the big hair, like the really big hair of the early 90's, the early days.
You mean on the guys?
On both. It was big on both. Hairspray was hot.
Hairspray. You would just literally.
What about overalls? On guys and girls, yes?
Always.
Always.
Love overalls, freedom.
And butterfly clips? Keep them. We're keeping them all. We're keeping it all. Collect them all. Slip dress with a t-shirt underneath.
Yes.
Bleached tips on the guys.
Nope.
Bleach tips.
On your hair.
You mean like highlights? Is that what we're talking bleach tips? What are we talking bleach tips?
It's like the frost, it's not the highlight.
Oh no. We go all the way down.
15-inch doll, I
They
know.
call it highlights.
Jason, you've been doing a bunch of directing.
You know what? Being a director was something that I started in the 3rd season of. I can't even say that, can I?
An iconic show.
Of an iconic show from the 90s.
The thing that you did.
The thing that I did that I was supposed to do. And anyway, these guys were all super supportive of me when I decided to make that move and start working as a director. And so I'm very thankful to all of these guys how supportive they were and how they were instrumental in the career I have behind the camera today.
I thought to work with Jason was really fun because Jason has a sense of humor in everything, like just finds a little bit of a moment to capture, and then it could be it could be an intense scene or whatever, just that moment gives like a levity, kind of a freedom, and then everybody can feel what they're gonna feel, and they can have fun, and it's great, really great. Thanks.
Shannon, what was it like to be directed by him?
Did you direct me?
It was great.
right. Listen, Jay and I had an awesome, interesting relationship. We were actually just talking today about there's a photo like floating around with the two of us that is the most inappropriate thing I've ever seen for a brother and sister. It is like, he's like behind me, pressed up, and we're all like sexy, and I'm like, oh no, this is wrong. Why is this happening? Like, this is crazy.
It was Rolling Stone magazine?
No, it was like it was a promo shot for this show.
Iconic show.
And it was just inappropriate. I mean, it was really inappropriate. But we were always like sort of like inappropriate brother sister. So it was fantastic. Next question, please.
Merch that's at your merch booth. It's kind of amazing. But tell everyone kind of about that and anything else you're working on.
Yeah, that sort of spawned from Kelly's kind of famous line, "I choose me," when she was faced with a decision whether to pick Brandon or Dylan, and she decided to choose herself. And our good friend Jessica Klein wrote that, and it always just stuck with me. And it strikes a chord on such a deeper level for me because I have 3 girls that I've been raising and, you know, teaching them and how to love themselves and respect themselves has been the most important thing for me. So I just sort of feel like that I choose me. So that's what the merch came from.
Nice. And Tori, you've got a bunch of stuff working on as well, like your QVC line. You want to tell us about it?
Yes, Chen and I have a cute line. Oh. You know I'm loud. You can hear me anytime. But we have, it's called BFF Collection on QVC. We'll be live September 20th with our new culinary collection. So check it out.
And I know you've got like a ton of businesses, but what do these people need to know about first and foremost?
You know, I got involved in a network, a direct sales company many years ago. It's health and beauty, glam stuff. And in the 14 years that I've been involved, I've built an international network of executives. I've got a couple thousand people that I've helped train and mentor and teach them how to start their own business. If anyone's interested in working in the health and beauty industry, find me at Ian DM me, want to know more about this free business opportunity. And it's something, you know, people tell me I'm a guilt from age, well, I use the products and they work. So
100 years old, that's good.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of irons. I think life's really too short to just do one thing. I've got some other things that are happening too. I'm trying to develop some projects for the entertainment industry. Is that good? Okay. You know, trying to do that. Got a lot of
Under a fair
things.
contract.
My kids keep me motivated. They're my why for everything, and I just keep it, you know, nose to the grindstone.
Brian, you've got a new show that we can talk about coming out with Special Forces.
Oh, we have to leave now.
I'm sorry.
He has something that's
Sorry.
coming out. I just can't talk about it yet.
And I'm so excited. It's gonna be so good.
Jenny will
Gabrielle,
talk about it for me.
Gabrielle, what do you want to make sure this audience really understands about what's going on with SAG-AFTRA union strike? If for anyone who doesn't know, Gabrielle is the former president of SAG-AFTRA.
First of all, I'm not anymore, so everybody comes to me as if it's me doing it. But I will say this. It's really incredible to be here with you guys. And the union right now, though I'm not the president, I am a member, we're all members of it. And you're seeing everybody here as a member. And the union has actually made it possible for us to be here, wanting to really acknowledge you. We know how important you are. And they're acknowledging us by saying there are ways for us to make a living while we're even on a strike. And because 90's Con is actually honoring that, we're able to be here also. It's a way for us to make a part of our living. So thank you so much. I'll say it's a righteous fight right now. It's a lot about artificial intelligence. Actually, a lot of you who are in businesses right now, your work might be threatened by artificial intelligence without any kind of laws to protect you. Our contracts are the only thing. So our fight is your fight. And I think that what we resolve in this contract for us and what we do in laws will actually help you all as workers around this country. So thank you so much for being here and understanding. Everybody's making fun of me a little bit. I'm not the one who made the rules, but I will say I'm ready to follow the rules, because you know what? In order for us to make change, we have to be willing to step forward and be strong, and you're helping us do that.
What do I have coming up? Obviously, you know, I have a fight for my life that I deal with every day. I think I am really great. My other profession is getting engaged, married, and divorced, and I'm doing that really well. And November 13th, I have a podcast coming out on iHeart. It's going to be called Let's Be Clear, and it's a live interactive memoir. So you get to hear everything that I've refused to say before. I'm spilling the tea, people, nicely. By the way, Brian also has a podcast called Oldish, and it is amazing. So make sure that you're listening to this podcast, because it's great. And thank you for your love.
So, come on, tell them what it is. That was the plug you needed.
Yeah, it's actually with myself and my girlfriend Sharna Burgess and Tori's younger brother Randy, who's been a life coach for 15 years. It's 2 episodes a week, so we have one on Tuesday and on Thursday. Tuesday we sort of have a topic and a thing that we talk about and go into, whether it's disappointment or co-parenting, or we sort of have these things. And then Thursday, people can write in questions or they can call in live, and we give advice and we try and help people as much as we can.
It's really, really, really good, you guys.
On that note, I'm going to wrap things up. We're going to stand at the front so you can get a great picture.
And facing out first, we're going to get one shot of all the cast together. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind turning around and facing me, we're going to add Brianna in back here. And we're going to get you and the entire crowd behind you. Alright, let's take one giant step this way if we may. There we go. Perfect.
Oh, they're doing that thing.
Look at that. All right, everybody make some noise. Keep your hands up there. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more